And in the mall, I smelled something hours ago when I was peeing. Right now, I actually peed again right before leaving, and there was nothing. I sure thought there was nothing there by arrival. Now, it could have been some smell potentially, but nothing on proportions. The bus was uncomfortable because it was hot. It was not smelling, and most importantly, there were drugs in the place where I was. Actual narcotics that caused me to want to go to the back. Those are heat sweat drugs. Heat sweat drugs we call actual narcotics. We experienced them before. Chip. So that's the layers as they go. And as I said, this is already public on their other account. I'm gonna shut out Tiny. And it is she'll have as enlisted in my main account for what it is. And again, as I pointed to you, we're gonna see the poop that she just was normal the entire day. She eats premium ration. When you get that, it's gonna be completely liquid. Know how I know it's liquid? Because it was on her back, it was on her face, it was all over her. She was cleaning herself the entire time because they threw something on her to cause that. If they didn't throw something else, Chip, let's go home. So, don't know what all the hullabaloo that was supposed to mean. I know what it meant to us. And to her, it meant that it caused her to be covered in poo because of something they threw to her. And the dehumanization to me that you get to see, honestly, that opinion don't matter to me. But after you get dehumanized, especially to this level, you have to say. Not to mention, obviously, the underlying thing. The underlying things don't change because you see, much like that, it's not supposed to have been a change in smell. After all, they said that there was a smell since the beginning. So, what is the point of the change, right? And that was something that I thought immediately when I saw her actually pooping. That's why I showcased there's no poo there before. And instead, you can hear the noise of her trying to dig on the box too, because she's a cat. And just the trauma on her. So, we're talking about animal cruelty. You got to see that on the spot. Chip. 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 Yeah, that's the purpose of that thing being there, by the way. If you ever want to know. But the issue is we know her Chip well enough at this point. So, in just pointing out that simple thing to you, why does that? The truck at me, the buzz to me. Why do you think there's that? I smell something weird in her. And I think that it was this buzz, the weird smell. But in simple terms, why the buzz is there? Plain and simple. That's not the street is blocked. The street is blocked is this one. The bus is always it's already facing the wrong way anyways. It can still enter the street. So, that's not a place for parking. That's the middle of a 2-lane street. As I pointed to before, keep in mind, where you see little mister. Hey, little mister. So mind that. Secondly, but just to end when I was saying that, you see the dehumanization is done to us to the point where they threw that on her. So you know that my point is not even the potential crimes. Again, as I said, we don't have tolerance for masturbators. You can see the points from the beginning. As I said, it's just in a nutshell what you saw in here of the whole. Well, technically, they're talking about smell since we got in, right? So that's not supposed to have been even logically a change. But I'm pointing simply to you. And yet you see a drastic change in behavior. Not change of now there's another different weird one. You see more of now that's real. Now it's okay. Because now it's no longer made up. And as I said to you before, until they threw something on her, causing her to shit herself as you're about to see because you're cleaning this, there was nothing. Okay? Plain and simple. Now, can I guarantee that there is no residual thing? Yes, because nicotine, perhaps you would smell something that's not quite pleasant. But for individuals passing by with me passing around, plus that's the methods of the taste and the shit, and then more, as you see, for the rest. But that sounds stupid. So, no, it doesn't. It doesn't sound stupid. It is not. It's how we address crimes. Right? It is the models operandi for, after all. Chip, I'm not comfortable with you doing anything you're doing right now. Chip! What the fuck you think you're doing? What you think you're doing? Chip! Chip! Baby! Chip! No. No. I'm dragging it back. No. Absolutely nothing. Much like all the other crimes. As I said before, if I disappear out of the blue with no evidence, you still know exactly what happened. Evidence goes for the face, the more recent faces, mind you, and some extra. Context, G. But, things are important for television, I suppose. But as far as this goes, I mean, had any doubts, particularly what you can see already online? So as I said, all the protection comes from this. Is why we French film them. It's the details of the baby and that's everything else. Physically, I'm one person. It's the whole point. But you are not. It's the whole point. As you see it. So see, you're just using for once the petty criminal methods to, well, hold on. What is she doing, Chip? Ay. Chip. Jesus Christ. What the fuck is wrong with you? Yeah, she's gonna keep doing that. This is why I'm trying to keep holding back. She can play with Little Miss and she can play with the other ones. I clean her box so we have some control later. But yeah, right now. Very hard to miss. Talk about things that hard to miss, and I want that in the same video. That's my baby. Brain fart. Keeps going around para lá. That's how liquid it is already. Actually, I'm gonna prefer to clean my nose before I touch that. So I'll not be able to do that after. Once again, she did the best she could. Best she could. That's what I mean by animal cruelty when you see animal cruelty, apart from the other things you see before. So yeah, it's the baby thing, the contagious disease, and that's the more shocking one, but it's also kind of the ones that they would probably most likely dispute. This one is going to dispute. You saw how she was, you saw everything as it goes. So what is the explanation there? The smell went back in time, right? Smell went back in time for you too. Because that's nonsense. So, if nonsense is the answer, you get to see very clearly the finger. The baby thing is also just as equally easy to prove. As I said before, no other animal has it here. It's a unique. No other cats caught it, anything even resembling that. Mama Cat occasionally have those fungy spots for a long time, but never developed anything even close to similar to this. And a couple other things that I cannot mention here, but you can presume that for me to be this certain when I'm not certain about someone facing the phone like this and pointing my way, it's because, again, I know what I'm saying. Decided to come back home. As I said, as crimes goes, that is how liquid it is. Completely liquid. Cleaning baby, come down. You saw her digging though. That's the thing. You physically can see as they're doing the crimes because everything's changed. And I actually starting to think that there might be some actually good people there. Or this was some good people behind it. Because this was all, I think, possible because they closed the gate early. And if there was any other place, I wouldn't even mention it here. But given this the mall, the chance of instead had just being a miscalculation is much, much higher. So, because they closed the gate early, way early in fact, what you see is we haven't been outside exposed enough to the drugs that they throw on the bus stop. The drugs probably laxatives that they throw on her. Which means that she didn't get to breathe that, she didn't get to the reactions all the way when she was already inside the bus. Remember that very strong soap smell that I mentioned?